Hello again. Welcome back to Bitcoin New York. Today is 20th of June. The weekly charts, 3-day charts, and the daily charts have closed. So I would like to get into those 3 charts and tell you guys about what I think about these charts. Today we're getting into Bitcoins, Ethereums, Cardanos, and Ripples. Right now is about a little bit past 8 p.m. So yeah, let's get into this, guys. First of all, the Fear and Greed Index today is at 23. Yesterday was at 21, so it's at a little bit of a rise today. So last week was a little bit higher. So it's still a little bit of a buying market as of right now. Looking at Bitcoins, first of all, I was talking about this on Twitter today. There is a little bit of a downward power happening over here. And there is the line was at the golden pocket right now. So I think there is another instances of trying to get through the trend line over there at about $38,204. So until it goes through that price point, I don't think we can settle on our asses over here for a moment. And the weekly charts over here, the 2 sticks down there are pretty much at the same length. So I think there is still a little bit more of an instance where it will go down after this. And the daily charts over here, I've actually turned this down, but it is still in the trend line over there. If it were to go through that trend line, I think there is an instance of another adjustment happening at 28,799. I think it might hit that point with the long stick that's been happening and taking place for a while over here. So I think that is kind of the trend that's happening with the long sticks over there. And yeah, at around 20 seconds, I think it might hit that trend line over there. It might hit that or go through that. That'll probably hit $30,000. For some of you, it might go to 29,000. But depending on this charts, it's probably about $30,018. So there is some possibilities of hitting those. So probably hitting that number and getting back on that rising pattern again. There is a little bit more of a time that will be taking place in this place over here. And also the 2 weeks charts have closed too. So this is the 2 weeks charts over here. Yeah, it's pretty much at the bang on middle over there. So yeah, it's been on a 6 week on a row. And the weekly charts over here, it is pretty much at the bottom over here. Yeah, let's get that out. Yeah, it's pretty much at the bottom over here. I think it's at the end of a per se run over here. And even the 3-day charts over here, I can say the same thing for that. And in the 5-day charts, that's the same. The one thing I was concerned about here, there is a death cross on the 2 weeks charts. So if it were to go back up, I think it might make a bull pattern after this. I think that is another possibility. But this is the first, it's only kind of happening. I can't really say anything much for sure on these charts, but that is the situation that's happening over here. And even in the 12-hour charts over here, yeah, at 30,000 over here, 31,071, and probably 30,018 or even 28,000. So those are the potential numbers it will be hitting in the near future. If it goes through in the charts over here, I can't really say for sure what kind of movement it will make in the near future. But I kind of thought it might go a little bit lower today. But it just made a long stick because of the resistance line over here at 32,285. So I think there might be some instances of kind of fluctuating in this area for a little bit more while over here. But I kind of said this before, but this from here to here, there is 81 days of kind of sideways fluctuation pattern. Yeah, about 2 months over here. 2 months and a half about. So yeah, about the length of 82 days is about, yeah, at the fastest, it will be August for that next movement to be taking place. Like the middle of the August, actually. Yeah, I think that's just gonna be the time that it will take for this market to be fluctuating in. Yeah, I think that's kind of the scenario that it's taking place right now. A little bit of kind of a boring period right now. Even if it goes up, it will just probably get sold back around this top line over here. So if it's like around that top line over there, that would be a pretty good indicator for next movements. So yeah, I think I would say be cautious on trading on this market right now. Yeah, the volumes are not much over here. Not much volume is coming into the market. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this right now. And on Ethereum's in Tether US dollars, I've actually got some lines out over here from the start of the Ethereum's and the last market high and last market low. So this is how it's moving right now. So it's kind of moving in this area right now. And this is the weekly charts over here. Yeah, it's kind of at a weak point right now with the two red candles there. And the daily charts over here. Yeah, so I kind of thought that it was kind of penetrate this trend line, but actually I didn't. So I think maybe for the next 2 to 3 days, it might kind of try and make that touching the trend line kind of pattern. Or it might be in kind of a adjustment period right now. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this, but so if it were to go through this line, it would probably go to 1,273. The next line would be $1,701. Yeah, it's pretty much lined up with the another indicator over there. So I think it's a pretty good place to be in for Ethereum holders right now. I don't know if you got into this, but if it were to go down, probably say 17,051 or 17,000 kind of area. If it were around here, it was at 2,059 or in that general area. So in this general week, just getting into it little by little would be a pretty good idea. Probably have an idea for like the long to midterm plans for your portfolio. And yeah, I think it was about over here that we were trying to get some indicators on. This point was the market high at 2017. So I don't think it's gonna hit that line anytime soon. And one more thing over here, there's one point of 972, which is about here. And even the RSIs are pretty much at the bottom over here. The one thing that I'm concerned about is this death cross on the weekly charts. So I think there might be a little bit more time in this market right now until it kind of gets in the green. And one thing I can say for sure is that you should be getting into Ethereum's. There's just no doubt. Even if you were to get into that top spike kind of position, looking at it on a kind of a long-term perspective, I think the next market high will be at around 14,768 or kind of that kind of area. There will be kind of adjustment periods happening between those times, but I don't think there might be a instance of this getting lower than 2,000 right now. But I think the next pattern will be like kind of trying to go down, but in the long term, it's actually going up. So get through the last market high and then kind of make an adjustment and just keep on with that kind of pattern. And on the 2-hour charts, it's kind of weak right now. It's pretty much at the bottom of the candlestick over there. So 1,800 or 1,700. I think those would be the numbers that would be hitting next time. Yeah. Let me get this pitchfork out of the way. Yeah. This was the last market high over there. So this... let me get this out here. Just a moment. Yeah, this was the last high over here. And the daily charts over here. Kind of like this. That gets this Fibonacci over here. So over here, I think it's around here. Oh, sorry, I think this one was correct. And yeah, I think this should do it. Yeah, over here. That looks good. Yeah, so this is kind of the resistance lines that it's taking place right now. So have these in mind for next time you analyze this chart over here. Probably it might hit 1,410 if it were to go through the 1,893. So if that were to happen, I think you should probably buy into that dip over there. In the meantime, it will probably get into like 1800 and 1900. That would be probably like 1.5 fold increase, 150% increase. So that'd be a pretty good chance to be getting to. There are possibilities of this not going lower. So yeah, like over here and over here, there are some resistance points in the last prices. So there are, keep in mind that those possibilities are there. And in Ethers and Bitcoins over here, it's kind of looking good, just kind of. This is the daily charts here. It's kind of trying to get to that high over there. So it's kind of looking good. And even the RSIs, it's pretty much at the bottom over here. And the weekly charts, yeah, all at the bottom over here. So I think it's actually a pretty good place to be getting into right now. Making a double bottom over here. It's kind of at the triangular pattern, kind of, sort of. So if you have it, just hold on to it, And I think it's got for sure to hit the last market high over there at 16,169,260. I think that is definitely a place to be getting into. Yeah, so before it goes higher, there is adjustments that's happening, as you can see, before the continuous blue rising pattern there. If you some Bitcoins, and considering Ethereum's, I think it's a very good timing to get into this. Let's look at the percentage over here. Yeah, it's still 167% increase. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. Very, very good. Yeah, I think it's a best choice to be getting into dollars before this. Yeah, that's all I can say for Ethers. And in Cardano's in US dollars, I kind of have a pitchfork down here. Let me get this Fibonacci out of the way. I kind of wanted to show how this is kind of moving around this pitchfork over here. Yeah, so Cardano's, it's kind of trying to get into that autumn high, kind of getting into that resistance pitchfork line over there, looking very strong. There is a 60% sell-off over there, but I think most of you have some profits mating over here. So after it made that kind of initial cup, the growth was very, very higher. And the last market lows were, I think we're at 63 cents. If it goes through that, you'll probably get into 63 cents. So it'll be $1.40, 90 cents, and then 63 cents. I'm going to show Cardano's and Cardano's and Bitcoins next. But it's pretty much the same as Ethers, so I think it's kind of a good idea to hold Cardano with some Ethers. And yeah, I think I'm gonna keep holding on to this. I think it's a pretty good investment. I don't think it's much of a big deal when this kind of sells off. It's kind of after the adjustments. So speaking of a kind of potential adjustment range, I think Cardano's are really kind of have a big range over here. So probably $10, $9. I think those are kind of the range that it has. So it might go into those areas in the near future. I don't think it's going to sell off after this. I don't think that's much of a possibility for now. I can say this for most of the cryptocurrencies, but it's definitely not going to go lower than the last initial market high at that initial spike over there. So over here, I think. So about 2.5 years. And after that, 992 days, about 3 years, I think, over there. So that was just like a big kind of, it's just been like taking in all that potential growth power in that few years, So yeah, it's kind of trying to go into those yellow numbers, kind of. It's what I'm considering over these technical analyses. Sorry, kind of blacked out over there. It's kind of slow today. I don't know if it's my internet or... Yeah, and in Cardano's and Bitcoins, it's very similar over here. In Bitcoins, most of these stuff are at the bottom in the daily charts, at least. Yeah, it's kind of trying to avoid these bottom places over there, looking at the charts. So it's very, very similar to Ethereum. And yeah, So this over here, we get the Fibonacci's out here. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Yeah, so the next highs are probably 2.272, 10972 over here in Bitcoins. So I think it will probably hit that number. Probably get through the last market high and then make an adjustments and hit that number. So if you have any Cardanos right now, I think that's a good place to close in on profits. Yeah, the pocket here is the RSI over here. It's made a pretty huge spike over there, even on the weekly charts over here. Yeah, over here on the RSIs. So yeah, the last part over here, I think it's a pretty good looking RSI, 85, 87. I think that's a good place to be hitting. Yeah. And ripples in US dollars. Yeah, I've got some trend lines down over there. Let's look at the daily charts first of all. I think this is the charts, the lines that's kind of following over here. And it's at the bottom over here, and the stock RSIs, the MACDs. So I think it's a pretty good timing for this currency over here. And looking at it on the weekly charts, yeah, it's pretty much cleaner RSI over here. So it's a kind of a matter of time until it makes that next initial spike over there. It might make a little bounce there at the bottom. So yeah, I think it's pretty much at the bottom over here right now, even on the 2-day charts over here. Not as clean as the weekly charts, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty much at the bottom, so it's just a matter of time until that's kind of changed. It's kind of a same vibe as Bitcoin, so I think it might kind of try to go lower than that, bounce off and go up after that, probably. I think it might kind of follow the trend line before it goes up after that. I think XRPs are kind of actually a pretty good cryptcurrency. I think most people not look into this very deeply. In terms of the entry points, today is $76, so probably $68 would be a pretty good place to be getting into. There might be some instances of selling off along with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin would be kind of like ripples, and Bitcoin would be a kind of a pair to be making a check and like kind of make references with. Maybe even $57 would be a pretty good place, in my opinion. I think that's a pretty good place to be heading into. And the next highs are changing this to the weekly charts over here. Yeah, the weekly charts are looking like this. I think it might go down here, probably 60 cents, and then go back after that. So I think it's probably another few weeks until this happens. So just keep buying the dip, I guess. Yeah, I can say this for anything. Oh, sorry, let me get this Fibonacci out here first. I can say this with Ethereums, but the place that it's kind of going into would be $4.25 or $4.88. Yeah. It's still at 76 cents, so I think there is a lot of growth range to be, like potential growth range for this to be getting into. Even if it goes up here, probably 454%. That's a pretty good place. Yeah, just hold on to it. Wait for that payoff. You could close in on profits and pick up on that bull and then make profits again. Or if you were to get in on that profit over there, the next payoff would be $15. Yeah, that'd be like about 1,000% increase, I think. Yeah, I think it's a matter of time until it hits those numbers. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea to be holding into ripples. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah, so in ripples and Bitcoins over here, I think most of you that don't have ripples right now, I think it's a very good chance to be getting into it. I've said about this before, I think, but it might kind of go around 1562, around that number. It might hit down over here, 1,453, 1,395. but I think it will actually get into this for another little while, keeping that trend line graduate sell-off. Yeah, I get the Fibonacci's out here. 7,556 or 7,776. I think it will hit those numbers after this initial kind of sell-off trend. And the growth range is at about $243 or 243%. Sorry about that. Or if you were to buy ripples and bitcoins over here, that would probably be 450% increase over there. So, you know, that's actually not the end. That's before the autumn high. So, yeah, there's going to be a little bit more adjustments over here. So probably getting into it after the adjustments and wait for that sudden growth over there. I can't really say much for sure about this because of all that movement and when this chart started. So there's kind of a big velocity that's been growing with this kind of fluctuation over here. The biggest one would be 15000. That's lower than the last market high. So I think there is actually a lot of growth over in this market. And getting into the total market caps, pretty much the same as all the others. If it goes down, that'll probably get into the next trend line over there. It's kind of on a rise over here. What do I say this again? Over here, 2016. Yeah, over there. It's kind of same price as 2016, and the RSI is over here. It's kind of similar to Ethereum's over here. So until some volumes flow in the market, I think it's going to take a little bit more time for this chart to recover. I can't say much about this charts. I think there might be some instances of trying to hit the last market high, but there is all the fair amount of volume flowing in the market. So I think it's kind of a slow period for now, and kind of a matter of time until this kind of fluctuates, gets out of the fluctuation and rises. I've been getting a little bit more followers on Twitter. I've been doing spaces, so if you guys are interested in these kind of live chart analyses, you know, I kind of talk with my followers sometimes. I do some chart analyses, so if you kind of guys are interested, be sure to follow me at Tatsugo channel on Twitter. So yeah, that's it for today, I think. I'm gonna do different videos on like doges and other stuffs like that when stuff happens. So yeah, be sure to follow me, like and subscribe for more. This week, I think there might be a little bit shorter videos, but yeah, you know, keep in touch, you guys. So thanks, guys, and good night.